Thank you. Thank you. We have to do this together. We have to join the fight against corruption to make Liberia a corruption-free nation where citizens act with transparency and integrity in all their deeds. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of May 2022, and it's the birthday of Prince Zota. The program is Integrity Watch. The program you are in tune to right now is called Integrity Watch. It's a 1 hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM. It runs from 11 to 12 noon, and it is repeated on Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. It is the primary radio-based communication and information dissemination platform of CENTAL. It's a key advocacy tool that provides essential information around the state of the fight against corruption, national integrity building efforts, as well as promotes the culture of accountability, transparency, integrity, and evidence-based decision-making across all sectors of Liberia. Under CENTAL's National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program funded by the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, or SIDA, the radio program serves as an engagement, advocacy, and coordination platform that rallies citizens and other stakeholders' support for the fight against corruption and bad governance. As part of this program, CENTAL has established the Advocacy and Legal Advice Center known as ILAC. The ILAC is an independent platform that enables citizens to freely report and seek redress to corruption and other integrity-related issues within their communities, places of work, and the country at large. At ILAC, there are a team of professionals, including lawyers, who are ready and waiting to respond to whatever complaint you may file. We encourage our people to take advantage of this process so that we all can join the fight against corruption in Liberia. There are different means through which you can contact our Advocacy and Legal Advice Center. The email address is alac@cn.alac, all in uppercase. We have the hotline number that you can call. Both Orange and Lone Star GSM can call. The hotline number is free of charge. So the number is 4432. You can call using any GSM, meaning Orange and Lone Star. So with zero balance, you can call. You just need to make the attempt and call and have basic facts or information to provide to the people who are going to receive the call. We encourage people to call and be genuine when they are calling, have basic information that you will provide, like we said. Do not call if there is not a need for you to make a call. So if you don't need to call, do not call. If you want to call, there should be information that you want to provide or you want to seek, and you can get the information. We have walk-in services. CENTAL is just opposite the John F. Kennedy Medical Center on 22nd Street. Just come upstairs and be able to interact with our team members. The LACC has hotline numbers that you can call to report issues about corruption. The LACC hotline numbers are, so the LACC is the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. That is the public body responsible for investigation, prosecution, and prevention of corruption in Liberia. So they do investigation, they do prosecution, and they do prevention. So these are the different works that the LACC does. So we encourage you to kindly report issues about corruption to the LACC. The numbers are 0555 395 728. Again, 0555. So 555 is 3 times. 395 728 or 4048. That's the short code. Or you can call the orange number 0776 6000 0776 6000. The Integrity Watch radio program is very civil and informative with zero tolerance on the use of invectives and other denigrating comments. So guests appearing on this platform, they are guided by the rule. So today is May 18, like we said, and this edition is going to be looking at activities of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia over the week or weeks gone by. But before we do that, and then today specifically, we're going to use as our talking point the code of conduct for public officials, for all public officials. And today's discussion is going to be focused on work ethics. So, part 11.17, 11.17, it talks about work ethics. Over the past time, we've been talking about adding dignity to public service. People who are working in government, what are the things required of them? We've been talking about it, but today we're going to see what the law says about those who are working in public service. The code of conduct for all public officials, what it says. Over the past time, we've been looking at the code, the one I talked about political participation. We've been talking about it over the past time. So now, today, we'll specifically look at work ethics. People who are working in government, what are required of them. So before we go to the talking point and update on CENTAL's activities, let us go to little things that matter. One of the little things that matter, we want to greet His Excellency, the President of Liberia, Dr. George Martin Weah, and to also greet the peace-loving people of Liberia. Good morning. We trust and hope that you are all doing well and going about your normal businesses. Your Excellency, thanks so far for the leadership role that you've exhibited and you continue to exhibit in steering our country to noble heights. However, and also want to say thank you for the nominations at the General Auditing Commission, the Financial Intelligence Unit, the LACC, and other integrity institutions that you've nominated people to serve. We say thank you. These are things that we've been calling for. We've talked about it. We've advocated for appointment of people to occupy these different positions at different public integrity institutions. I think you are on the right trajectory. And with that, we want to say thank you. We will appreciate where and when necessary. We will criticize where and when necessary. That's what we stand for at CENTAL. We don't praise saints. We praise when necessary and we criticize when and where necessary. So for this one, we say thank you. We have talked about it, and now you have seen the need and you've started appointing people to occupy these positions. You did that even though the GC appointment, not appointment, but the nomination at the GC, the individual nominated declined. But we hope that you're going to think about it and have somebody else nominated to serve in that position. We say thank you for that. However, we maintain that we cannot have these institutions to be toothless bulldogs. The appointment, that's one thing, one aspect, but ensuring that these institutions are supported, they maintain their independence, the environment for their operations are safe. As it is, and records have shown that the environment has not been very conducive for people who are working in public integrity institutions or who are doing integrity-related works. We have seen that. We followed the deaths of auditors and other people who have been working in integrity institutions. These are signs that may cause censorship for those who find themselves or for those who are working in these areas. So if auditors go missing or auditors are found dead and there's no clear information around how they were killed or what happened, what led to their death, and if people, who are found in strategic areas are being threatened or whatever happening along the way, it creates doubt, it creates fear amongst those who are working in that environment. That is the reason why we call for safe space for auditors and those who are working in integrity institutions. So we also call for financial independence. These institutions, they will not operate if they are not independent enough to fully go about their functions. If we just nominate and have them instituted without empowering them with the financial support needed so that they can go about their functions, we will be doing nothing but rather lip services. If we do not empower them, give them, make sure that we follow the law that govern these institutions. If the law provides that these institutions supposed to receive funding on a periodic basis, on a whether quarterly, if they receive their supposed to receive their funding quarterly, these institutions should be empowered to receive their funding quarterly. The threat of the Ministry of Finance controlling integrity institutions' budget is or are the Ministry of Finance will control what they do. So if they do not dance with the tune of the Minister of Finance or those who are working with at the Ministry of Finance, if they do not dance with their tune, it is possible, the likelihood is hard for them not to be delayed in accessing their budget or their whatever allotment for them. So that is why the law provides that these integrity institutions supposed to receive quarterly budgetary allocations so that they can be independent in the execution of their duties. So we hope that these things will happen as we go about with the appointments. Let us also ensure that the laws, like we listen to the senators, they had on their agenda the anti-graft laws that were submitted to the lawmakers for passage. I think they talked about it, but we just not want them talking about it. What we want is for them to take concrete action in passing those laws, making the LDCC more independent so that it can have prosecutorial power to prosecute cases, to establish corruption court, special court dedicated to corruption cases. These are things that we are calling for. I think these are necessary tools that are needed so that we can win the war against corruption. We know the term of court in Liberia, we know how the court dockets are crowded with cases, different cases, most of which are theft of properties and all kinds of cases that crowd court dockets. So when corruption cases go to the court will not put aside all other cases that have been there for all the period or for years and pick up those cases to prioritize them over the other ones. So for that reason, the corruption cases may have longer time on the court's docket, and as a result of that, the term of court will elapse, another term will elapse, and then those cases will remain on the docket. The other thing again that we're calling for is this issue about trying to ensure that we get rid of this 5 years statute of limitation. I mean, the statute of limitation is a serious problem because if someone is not prosecuted with accused and they are not prosecuted within 5 years, depending on the gravity of the case, within 5 years, that person will not be prosecuted beyond that. So the statute of limitation is something that we are also calling for the review and see how we can look at those things. So these are things we wanted to talk about and to say thank you to the president for the nominations at the GAC, the FIU, the LACC, and other places that nominated people to serve. And those who are nominated, we hope that you're going to serve with high integrity, high level of integrity. You are, and people of Liberia, the interests of Liberia should be your priority. You should not go to serve any individual or individuals. You are serving the people of Liberia, and what interests the people of Liberia is to ensure that people or the right things are done, that their resources are accounted for. If people are accused, let them find their days in court so that the law can take its course. So we hope that you're going to serve with dignity and high level of integrity in the interest of the people of Liberia. The next thing we want to talk about is the issue about electricity. Your Excellency, we are concerned and we continue to raise this issue about electricity. It's very important because our people are dying. Our people are dying on a daily basis at the different hospitals and health centers in the country because of this fluctuation in electrical supply. We cannot have these kinds of services being provided to the people of Liberia. We are doing disservice to the people of Liberia. The people are willing to pay for the services, but they cannot have access to the services that they are willing to pay for. But yet, our payrolls are crowded. We have people who are working, who should be working, but they are doing nothing to help the people of Liberia. I mean, how can we have crowded payrolls and we cannot have services being delivered? So why are we paying people? What is the essence of paying people if we cannot provide service to the people who are paying them? We need to look at this. We need to ensure that, especially health facilities in the country, there are stable electrical supplies to these institutions. The JFK, the Redemption Hospital, and all public facilities and or all other health facilities in the country. It's very important. Why is it important? If somebody is on the surgical ward or is found in the theater and undergoing procedures, they are under oxygen, they will need power supply to sustain power supply so that they can survive, to revive those people. But if you have the level of fluctuation we have in electrical supplies, and LEC is like Christmas light, it comes on anytime, it goes off anytime. I mean, no stability. I mean, why are we doing this to the people? People are dying. People are dying because they are considered to be the low class people. So these informations they are not picked up. So attention have not been given to these facilities. If it relates to us, if it gets closer to us, that's when we will react. That's when we will take action. So let us not wait for it to get closer to us before we can take action. Because that's what happens in Liberia. If it is not one public servant who died because maybe of power shortage or power fluctuation, they will not take action. If one happens, that's when you will see them they will start taking action immediately. But the other people who are dying, yet they say they are working in the interest of the people. These are the people who are paying them. These are the people who are paying you. They are the ones who employ you. So if your employers are dying because they cannot have access to basic social services, you need to take action to help them. But they continue to pay you because you control the budget. So you allot huge amount to yourself. You have access to flying away. You can fly away at any time when you are sick or members of your families are sick. So you take them away. But those who do not have that capacity to do that, they continue to die. You need to do something about this. All of you need to do something about it. All officials of government, those who are in policy and strategic decision-making positions, you need to act. The lawmakers, the president's office, and all those who are concerned, you need to do something about this. Thank you. Like we said, we're going to specifically look at dignity in public service today. So with that, we're going to end on that note. So let us go to the next segment of the program to speak to members of the national legislature as they return to session. So we say welcome back, and we pray and hope that you have come back with more vigor, you've come back with the people of Liberia on your mind to come and serve the people, to do the right thing, make passing laws and advocating for the right thing to be done in the interest of the people, not yourselves. We hope that the different instruments, anti-graft instruments that are before you, especially the Liberian Senate, you're going to act upon them as speedily as possible so that we can give these institutions the right tool to operate. Again, we are calling on you to ensure that you allocate resources and ensure with your honor your oversight power. Try to make sure that these institutions are functional and they are doing the right things in the interest of the people. You need to do that. You have the responsibility of doing, to ensure all of these things happen. Thank you. To the National Elections Commission, again, we've come to talk to you, Honorable Chair of the National Elections Commission. You need to do something about that building where in which you occupy. The building is very deplorable, is very frustrating, is very disheartening. You cannot be operating in such a dirty area. The building is totally you need to do something about it. Us with a particular poor in the community, the employees of LEC situation only because they want to subject that particular community to paying bribe to one or two of their employees to come and reconnect them. The community will write, some communities will walk, they will go over to LEC customer service, they will call, they will connect with people they know to no avail. The only thing that will move them will be when the community decides, say, let's put money together and call one person to come and do it. And when they hear that there is some money available for those who will come, you will see them immediately. They will come. Immediately they will come. But so long the community have not come together to say, oh yeah, we have money here to pay you, they will not come. I mean, this is wrong. Why are we doing this? And yet we're paying you. We're paying for these services. People are willing to pay. Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Right here on 22nd Street, our office is located just on 22nd Street. We pay for water supply to our office. More than 6 months now, we have not had water supply to the office. The office is willing to pay for it. People around are willing. Official working hours 8 a.m. And thanks to Sekou Sharif. Sekou Sharif, a team been around to study public facilities, trying to see what time officials come to work. And most of the employees and most of the ministers who they spoke with, they told Sekou and his team that official working hour for government is 9 a.m. But the law is saying something else here. I listened to that. I followed Sekou on religiously because especially when he was doing that particular thing, I took interest in it because it is so saddening that you go to government offices sometimes 10 o'clock And employees of government are yet to come to work. We go to government offices, people who are supposed to be providing services, they are eager to go home as early as 3 p.m. They are gearing up to go home already. But the law says you're supposed to be at work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's the official working hour. 11.18, it says public officials and employees of government shall neither engage in or nor encourage the practice of 11.18. Public officials and employees of government A. Lateness at work. They get it, and it's in a library time, especially public officials. Especially public officials. I mean, this is so saddening. You cannot have event, even arranged by your partners. These international partners, they have serious issue with us regarding our time management. We don't manage time. The law says we should stop. In fact, we should not encourage lateness at work, meetings, and official functions. Irregular attendance at work. People come to work at their will. They are not obligated to come into work every day. They come to work, they sign out, go to the ministerial complex. Get to the ministerial complex, you know what's happening, how government employees see government work. They say no power supply in the building. So whole day as early as 12. You will see people sitting now. They will from 12 o'clock, they will not go back to offices or just maybe they departing to go home. Why are we doing this to our public service? The C says taking more than the average number of sick days, casual leaves. Taking more than the average number of sick days, casual leave. D. Using weather, poor transportation, and domestic problems as excuses for lateness and irregular attendance. I hope people are following. I mean, do you understand what they are trying to say here? You cannot take your family issue to be an excuse for coming to work late. You can't come to work 10 o'clock and say because I have family problem. You can't come to work 10 o'clock and say because I was in traffic. You can't come to work late because you said there was some personal issue that you had to attend to. The law says this should not happen. Being lazy and adult at work. You come to work, you sign, the next thing you pick up your phone is your phone that you will pick up. You on the phone whole day. Even you're supposed to be providing service to the people are queued up and waiting for you to provide the service. You pick up the phone, you are on call. People are waiting for you. You on call. After 30 minutes, you drop the phone, another call comes in, you pick it up. The people will still be waiting for you. The law says you should not do that. You can't do that. transacting private business in office, and G say abusing the rights of persons supervised by keeping them beyond official working hours unless under conditions of emergency. So if you are supervising people, do not keep them in office, do not abuse their right to keep them in office beyond official working hours. So I mean, then okay, we'll stop here to next time we're going to go further into this. But I mean, these are things that are provided by the law, the code of conduct for all public officials. So it says the official working hours for the government of Liberia is 8 to 5 p.m. If you go to work 9 o'clock, you are late. You go to work 10 o'clock, you are late. Those officials who claim that official government working hours starts at 9, that's a lie. LRE, that's a lie. That's a lie. You lied. So the official working hours for the government of Liberia starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. But you go to the ministries, the buses can be crowded already. The first bus maybe can depart by 3. By 3 o'clock, people are already sitting in the buses and waiting to go home. I mean, why are we doing this? And you've been paid for the services you rendering. So why are you not doing this? So maybe because we are not adding, we're not doing value for money. So before people get employment, there should be TOR for the positions they're going to occupy. So there should be chain of command. From the least person, the supervisors will supervise the people, and those who are being supervised, they report to the supervisor on a weekly or daily basis on tasks delivered. And the supervisor will report to the director, and the director report to the assistant minister, the assistant minister report to the deputy minister, and the deputy minister reports to the minister. And the minister will now have something to deliver when he goes to cabinet meeting. With that, we're going to have value for money in public service. But as it is, what's happening in government is just, for the sake of job creation, we're still creating jobs, and we just take people and carry them and crowd the payrolls, and they know nothing that they're supposed to provide to the people. So they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing there, some of them. So they just go and sit down all day. At the end of the month, they get their salary and go home. This is wrong. The law says you should make sure that people who are employed in government, they should take into consideration the working time. They should have ethics of work. That's what the law says. You cannot be adult at work. You cannot take your product consideration for it. So these are things we're talking about today. So what do you think? What is the normal working hour? What do you see? Share your experience of what you see, the actuality. What do you see in public service? Is it 8 o'clock that we go to work? What do you see? You the one who can go for services. Maybe I'm wrong, but you are out there. Tell us, what do you see on a daily basis? What time do you see public officials at work? And what time do you see them leaving work? You can call now and make your point. So the number to call, 077-0175-162. That's the number to call to be live on the program, 077-0175-162. 077-0175-162. That's the number to call to be live on the program, Integrity Watch. Integrity Watch is a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday on Truth 96.1 FM. We have our first caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. What do you see on a daily basis? Do we have our public officials or offices opening at 8 o'clock?
It's an interesting discussion this afternoon. This morning, sorry. But, you see the office open, and then the people who are supposed to open the office are two different things.
Okay.
You know, what I want to say this morning is that the first thing when you talk about the ministers and the supervisors, the ministers are not going to work in time.
Okay.
Definitely, once my boss is not to the office, it is my responsibility to go to work in time so that I can be in office. On the flip side, in Liberia, once one is not at work, that means you as an English as an other man, you don't go to work. Because even if boss do come late, you will not take any action because he says late, you'll be afraid that, maybe I was late, or the other person late. But the true is, like you talk about value for money. If tomorrow Liberians can sit down and let us value the money that we are making, if the S goes to work, how many hours does the S want to be at the office? And if we work at 8 or, for example, 8 to 10 or 5 o'clock, like the official closing hour, what did they do? What did they achieve for that day? Now, this one is achievement is punctualism. You can start with okay, the person we can go to start paying them X, Y, Z. But the content as a whole, I mean, not just straight. There are no system.
Okay. All right, thank you. 0770-175-162. That's the number to call to be live on the program. Yes, I mean we must add value to public service. We cannot do this to our public service. People should be able to deliver on a daily basis what tax is supposed to deliver on. I mean, hello, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is John and I'm calling you from Johnson City.
John, let's hear you. Do we have our offices opening at 8 o'clock?
For me, what I see for the worker is just to bluff.
Okay.
Because, normally in Liberia, I would just go to our lawmaker sometimes to me, I believe that you don't want to make me to understand that going to the office, you open my 8. Sometimes we see them going to work by 10, 11, and sometimes when they are looking for a job, they will put time to the job that they're looking for. When they get a job now, you see they don't go to work on time. And why you say about the value of money? When you know the value of money and you always try to put your job at first. But this time in Liberia, normally like some of we sellers who graduate there, who looking for a job, who go for a job, people tell them to go and come. People who have a job who go, we see them. Just like saying the one that when you go, can I see the director? Oh, the director is not in. You're talking to them, so they don't pay attention on Facebook because they have the job, so they don't know the value. But in Liberia, when you don't have a job, you can know the value of the job. But when you get a job now, you're in the system. At the end of the day, you see, roughly, it's also for me, when you go there, I see that why you see. In Liberia, sometimes some government offices, you see people important, actually, 2:30, they're going to work. Actually, today, you don't want to educate me in a government office, you go about 5.
Of course.
But for me, people say that at 4 o'clock, but you see people in government offices, and now 2:30, 3 o'clock, they are going to work. So, for me, the job is in Liberia, I only see bluffing.
Okay.
And they don't know the value of the money. If you know the value of the money, you put time for your job.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Your points are well noted. 0770-175-162. That's the number to call to be live on the program. Integrity Watch. I mean, what value for money does is when you evaluate what people are supposed to. If we add value, we look for value for money, and we employ people on the basis of that. On a daily basis, they will execute tasks. They will deliver on something. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your name and where are you calling from? Just lower the volume of the radio and let's have this conversation. Your name and where are you calling from? I'm hearing you. Let's hear your name and the location.
I'm Johnson calling from Abel.
Mr. Johnson, let's hear you.
You see, my brother,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk so.
Mm-hmm.
This country, no system, number one, no system.
Okay.
If we have system, everything would be fine.
Okay.
The problem with civil servant, the first thing is no system, no pay structure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
If you call sometimes, if you know the job, it says learn the job, don't learn the money.
Okay.
If you know the job, and you got passion for the job, you will do the job. The first thing, the job is fun. And what I mean, no system, because if you go to work, you will go to work. Sometimes on the morning, how much you making? How much you making? If you do it, how much you making?
Okay.
Then when you see the lawmakers who don't go to work every day, the kind of money they're making. So it discourages people. It discourages people. It makes you weak.
Yeah, but if it is discouraging you, I mean, if you went to the work, you're supposed to deliver on something that what you are being paid for. That's why you sign up to do.
Yeah, but I'm saying too, when you're working too, they should treat you fair.
Yep.
Because that's a civil servant job. You can't work have money without that children and him like call me, okay, what I'm good draw. And the same thing they're still doing.
But what work do they rather do? Because I mean, I'm asking the question because we don't have services. But if people they're supposed to be providing services.
Yeah, that's the same thing we are saying. So nobody gets passion for the job.
Okay.
Everybody don't go there to get money and do something, but actually we don't love this country.
Okay.
If we love this country, we will do everything fine. That's the first problem that we have in this country. So we really need deliverance from God. Most in this country, and the people that love the country that are majority.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Your points are well noted. 0770175162. That's the number to call to be live on the program. Integrity Watch. We are talking about work ethics, and we are looking at the code of conduct for all public officials. So the code says official working hour of the government of the Republic of Liberia is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. What do you see? Let's get this caller. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Let's hear you. Mm-hmm. Transportation. I mean, but we see buses, ministries. Most of the ministries and agencies have buses. The buses. Sometimes you see buses in the traffic. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, buses are still in the traffic. In the traffic. So, what do you think? What's your view? Let's hear you. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Let's hear you. Make your point.
Thank you so much. You know the reason why these things are happening. The leaders who are heading the ministry of Europe are not serious.
Okay.
Therefore, the other workers look at them in that manner.
Okay.
And whatever they do is no punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the boss when you're doing it.
Okay.
Now you will punish the little one. They will go against you and they will probably what you are doing. So they do the job remain like that.
Okay.
So they want to have a government working force. We should honor the time. You are working for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you observe the 8 hours.
And you should deliver on something. You should deliver something.
The other thing that there is people in throwing in an office and they don't even know what to do. No POR.
Okay.
And they sit down there and wait for their salary. That's all.
Okay.
I don't want offices the other day.
Mm-hmm.
When they will inquire for our money.
Mm-hmm.
I met a little girl on a phone. I picture the little girl say, yeah. I said, where's the boss man? You know, big office. I almost called the office and said, oh man, I said, we just here. So I said, oh, but we having problem with financial sensitivity. They do that like bill. They're working on the day rather than I am. Okay. Sitting in a big office.
Okay.
That is honored by the entire Liberian people.
Okay.
They don't care what's going on there. So they don't know the deal, Aaron.
Okay.
So the judge brought it, do the voting in office, and the judge had to vote for their salary at the end of the day. That's the reason. But the bosses are serious to be aware and make sure that they're there. The honor men will be there.
Of course.
That's a fact.
All right. Thank you so much.
Some offices, make sure the late there is 8:15 in the office because of maybe this thing.
All right.
And so people will have problem with us. But I will finish by, I give you the required time, maybe 8:30, I say close the book. Close the book. That's it.
Okay.
But the hair are not working. That's what they want to do, are not working.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Your points are well noted. Yeah. So I mean, it's very important. If the head will start to go to work in time, they are in the office as early as 8 in the morning. All the honor men will be in office even before 8 o'clock. If your boss is in the office every morning as early as 8 a.m., you will want to be there before him. So you will do everything to get in office before 8 o'clock. But if the boss comes to office 9 o'clock, comes to office 10 o'clock, and he leaves office 3 o'clock, he leaves office 2 o'clock, he goes for lunch, he doesn't come back to office. I mean, that's what happened all around in most of the offices that we find. People who's supposed to be providing, who's supposed to be supervising these people, they leave office sometimes 2 o'clock and they will not come back in office until the rest of the day ends. I mean, so that's what's happening. So when you add value to public service, when people come to work, they are eager to make sure that they deliver on their daily tasks. So if you're supposed to deliver on three things every day, there should be three things that you deliver on a daily basis. So if you go to work, you make sure that you deliver on your tasks. So after doing that, so what that would do is when all of the people who are working in the department deliver on at least three things every day, then on a weekly basis, the supervisor will take their report, or on a monthly basis, the supervisor receive their appraiser and they appraise them on the task they deliver. You were tasked to deliver 4 items, or let's say to deliver on this milestone, and you deliver on everything. Your supervisor appraise you and sign up to your appraiser, and it goes to the one who next in line, and that person receive it and then does the same thing, and it goes until before you get your salary. That's what's supposed to happen. Your appraiser is supposed to be signed, indicating that you have delivered on the tax assigned to you. But I mean, it doesn't happen in public service. Then to the ministers too. The ministers supposed to be able to deliver at cabinet meeting, do PowerPoint presentation on what you delivered over the period. What have happened? What has happened at your ministry? How many things? What are the milestones that you've achieved? When you go for cabinet meeting, you do presentation, and people see what you have to deliver and what are the tasks ahead of you. What you're supposed to do for the months coming ahead. All of those things are planned and presented to the cabinet meeting. When you do this, you'll be able to add value to public service. Again, we've been talking about ethics at work, and specifically we're looking at the code of conduct for all public officials. It says official working hours for government of Liberia is from Monday to Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. Unless otherwise, it means that unless the lawmakers pass another law to change the particular working time, it still remains as this, and it remains the official working hour of government. Again, we are on this campaign to make sure that we add value to public service. We show value for money. For those who will pay, let them deliver on why we are paying on the reason why we are paying them. So the program you've been listening to is called Interpretive Watch. It's a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is aired every Wednesday through 96.1 FM. It is the primary radio-based communication and information dissemination platform. It's a key advocacy tool that provides essential information around the state fight against corruption, national integrity building efforts, as well as promote the culture of accountability, transparency, integrity, and evidence-based decision-making. So we've been talking about working in public service. So again, we have our hotline numbers that you can call to report issues about corruption to our advocacy and legal advice center. The number to call is 4432. If you are using Orange, you can call. You are using Lone Star, you can call. It's free of charge. So you need not to worry about the costs on your credit. So my name is Sam Zota. I'm the Media and Communications Officer at the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. My colleague, Mark Bondao, has been behind the camera, making sure our visibility goes beyond the studio. and he's controlling the Integrity TV. Join us next week for another edition of the program. Better still, Sunday 8 to 9 is a repeat of the broadcast. Join us every day. Bye-bye.